A solopreneur in Austin named Daniel runs his entire six-figure consulting business from a single Notion workspace. He has no employees, no virtual assistant, no bookkeeper. Last month he logged 11 billable client hours on a Tuesday, while his admin work for that same day clocked in at 43 minutes. Not 43 minutes of rushed, sloppy admin, 43 minutes total, including client follow-ups, invoice prep, meeting notes, and scheduling. 2 years ago that same workload would have eaten 4 hours of his day, minimum. The difference is a custom AI agent he built inside Notion that he named Nova, and Nova knows everything. 2 years of client history, pricing conversations, project outcomes, his writing style, his scheduling preferences. Daniel never rebriefs his AI. He never copies context between tools. He just works. Welcome back to Zero Index. What I am about to show you is the exact workflow architecture that is letting solopreneurs like Daniel claw back 10, 15, sometimes 20 hours a week from pure administrative friction. And I want to be precise about this because most people miss it. The time savings are real, but only if you understand which tasks actually compound. Here is what most people still believe that is no longer true. They think productivity tools save time by making you faster at doing the same things. Open the app quicker. Type the note faster. Find the file in fewer clicks. That was the old game. Shave seconds here, minutes there, feel slightly less frustrated. But the math never really worked. You saved 12 minutes on meeting notes and then spent 9 of those minutes deciding what to do next. The cognitive overhead ate the gains. What changed in 2025 and accelerated hard into 2026 is that the tool itself started doing the tasks. Not faster versions of your tasks. The actual tasks, autonomously, while you do something else. And Notion specifically crossed a threshold that I do not think enough people have noticed yet. When Notion hit 100 million users and rolled out their custom AI agents at scale, they created something that functions less like a productivity app and more like a second brain with agency. Not a chatbot you prompt. An agent that watches, learns, and executes based on patterns it has absorbed from your specific way of working. I tracked down the actual numbers on this. A researcher ran a structured test across 27 distinct AI-assisted tasks over 5 business days. The average time saved per task was 14.8 minutes. That does not sound revolutionary until you realize the cumulative effect, 6.6 hours reclaimed in a single work week from one category of automation alone. The biggest wins were not where most people would guess. Summarizing research saved 22 minutes per instance. Extracting action items from meeting transcripts saved 18 minutes. These are not glamorous tasks. They are the invisible tax you pay every single day for running a business alone. But there is a third layer to this that took me longer to understand, and I will come back to it because it changes everything else I am about to tell you. Let me break down exactly where those 10 weekly hours come from, because the number sounds almost too clean to be true. It is not one giant time sink you eliminate. It is death by 1,000 cuts running in reverse. Start with meeting notes. If you are a consultant, coach, or any kind of service provider, you are probably in 3 to 5 client calls per week minimum. Traditional workflow, you finish the call, you open your notes app, you try to reconstruct what was said while it is fresh, you format it, you send a summary to the client, you extract your own action items, you put those in your task manager. That is 15 to 20 minutes per meeting if you are disciplined. Most people are not disciplined, so it bleeds into 30. With Notion AI meeting notes and the agent layer on top, that entire sequence happens automatically. The transcript feeds in, the summary generates, action items extract into your task database with correct tags and due dates, and a client-facing summary drafts itself for your review. Total active time, maybe 2 minutes to scan and approve. Do that across 4 meetings and you have already saved an hour. Now multiply across the other administrative microtasks that solopreneurs drown in. A consultant I spoke with named Rachel used to spend 30 minutes after every client session writing follow-up emails, updating project status, and logging notes. She built a single Notion automation triggered by marking a meeting complete. The agent pulls context from the meeting, drafts the follow-up in her voice, updates the client record, and cues the email for her review. Her 30 minutes collapsed to 5. Weekly status reports, another 20 minutes saved per week for anyone doing recurring client updates. The agent pulls completed tasks, summarizes progress, flags blockers, and formats everything into a template that matches your brand. Task triage is where the math gets interesting. If you are creating 20 to 30 tasks per week, manually tagging priority, project, due date, and context probably costs you an hour of cumulative decision fatigue. The database autofill feature handles this now. One creator tested it on 40 research articles she had clipped over a month. The agent read all 40, tagged them by topic and relevance, and organized them into a sortable view. Time saved, nearly 2 hours on a single backlog. Add it up. Meeting notes, follow-up automation, weekly reporting, task triage, research organization. Each one saves 30 minutes to 2 hours per week. Stack 5 or 6 of these workflows and you are staring at 10 hours. Some users are reporting 15 to 20 when they go deeper into content creation and client communication automation. Here is the part nobody is talking about. The biggest time savings do not come from individual automations. They come from eliminating context switching. Every time you leave Notion to check your email, update your CRM, or log something in a separate project management tool, you pay a cognitive tax. Research suggests it takes over 20 minutes to fully regain deep focus after a context switch. Solopreneurs switch contexts dozens of times per day. The math is devastating. What Daniel figured out, the guy I mentioned at the top, is that the real unlock is building an agent that holds persistent context across everything you do. His agent Nova is not just summarizing meetings or tagging tasks. Nova knows which clients tend to delay payments and flags them for early follow-up. Nova knows his energy patterns and suggests scheduling deep work during his productive hours. Nova remembers that a prospect mentioned budget concerns 3 months ago and surfaces that context before a renewal call. This is not science fiction. This is what custom agents in Notion allow right now, in 2026, on a $10 monthly add-on. The workflow architecture looks like this. At the center, a master database that connects everything: clients, projects, tasks, meetings, content, and financials. Linked databases create views tailored to each context. The AI agent monitors all of it, with rules you define for when to intervene. One solopreneur built a weekly reflection workflow that used to take half a day. She would review the past week, assess wins and losses, update goals, and plan the next 7 days. Now she triggers it with a single phrase. The agent pulls completed tasks, compares them against her stated priorities, generates a summary of what moved the needle and what did not, and drafts her weekly plan. 20 minutes, down from 4 hours. Actually, I need to stop here because most people get this completely wrong. They think the goal is to automate everything. That is not the goal. The goal is to automate everything you are bad at so you can spend all your time on what you are good at. The tasks where your unique judgment and creativity generate revenue, those should never be automated. The tasks where you are basically a slow, error-prone robot, those should never be manual. The line between those two categories is where your leverage lives. This brings me back to what I mentioned earlier, the third layer that changes everything. The time savings alone are not the story. The story is what happens when you have the time. Solopreneurs hit an invisible ceiling around $100,000 in annual revenue. Beyond that, the admin burden scales faster than the income. You need to either hire help, which destroys your margins, or you cap your growth, which destroys your ambition. Most people choose a slow version of burnout instead. What AI workflows do is push that ceiling dramatically higher. If admin tasks previously ate 20 hours of your week and you compress them to 5, you have not just saved 15 hours. You have created capacity for 15 hours of revenue-generating work that was previously impossible without staff. I talked to a solopreneur named Marcus who processes client briefs for a design agency. A typical 2,900-word brief used to take him 20 minutes to read, summarize, extract action items, and log into his system. He built a Notion AI workflow that does it in under 2 minutes. The 18 minutes saved sounds small. But he processes 20 briefs a month. That is 6 hours back. 6 hours he now spends on client calls that close deals. The compounding is real. Time saved converts to revenue generated, converts to higher lifetime client value, converts to more referrals, converts to more time needed for admin, except now the admin is automated too, so the flywheel accelerates instead of collapsing under its own weight. Here is the honest part. This does not work out of the box. Notion gives you the tools. The AI admin at $10 a month is almost absurdly cheap for what it does. The business plan at $20 a month includes the full agent capabilities, enterprise search, and multi-model AI. The price is not the barrier. The barrier is the upfront investment of building your system, connecting your databases correctly, training the agent on your context, testing automations until they actually match your workflow. That takes time, hours, probably a full weekend if you are starting from scratch. Most people will not do it. They will read about the 10 hours saved, nod, and continue doing things manually because the setup feels overwhelming. This is the asymmetry that creates competitive advantage. The solopreneurs who build these systems now will operate at 2 or 3 times the capacity of those who do not. Same hours, radically different output. And that payoff period is shorter than you think. One creator reported that after 2 years of loading business context into her Notion agent, it now handles situations she never explicitly programmed. The system learned. That initial weekend of setup has paid dividends for 24 months straight. So here is where I land on this. The 10 hours a week figure is real, but it is a floor, not a ceiling. The solopreneurs treating these tools as a novelty are going to find themselves competing against operators who have effectively cloned their own decision-making into an always-on assistant that never needs coffee, never needs a day off, and never forgets a single detail from 2 years of client interactions. The question is not whether to adopt these workflows. The question is whether you can afford the compounding disadvantage of waiting. If you are running any kind of solo business, here is what I would do in the next 24 hours. Open Notion, start a single linked database system for your clients and projects, turn on the AI add-in, and build one automation, just one. The meeting to task extraction workflow is the highest leverage starting point. Once you see your own handwriting show up in an auto-generated follow-up email, something clicks. The tool stops feeling like software and starts feeling like capacity. The solopreneurs who figure this out in 2026 are going to look back at this year as the moment the ceiling disappeared. The ones who do not will wonder where everyone else found the time. If this is the kind of thing you want to understand before everyone else does, you know what to do.